Thank you.
Sevgi Akarcesme, editor of Zaman today. Today's Zaman. Can you tell us what the situation is for Zaman as we speak?
As we speak, there is, following the brutal takeover of the newspaper by police on Friday night, there is censorship going on in the newspaper, in both of the newspapers, Zaman and Today Zaman. Zaman was the largest selling daily of Turkey, the Turkish edition. Today Zaman was one of the most important English newspapers in the country. But because the takeover aimed to turn these newspapers into the mouthpieces of the government, people stopped buying newspapers because we have a pretty loyal readership. So there is a tremendous decline in the circulation of both newspapers. And at the moment, newsrooms are under pressure. There is mobbing going on. There has been heavy police presence in the newspaper, and the editors are extremely uncomfortable and frustrated at the moment.
What was it that Zaman was saying that was was found objectionable by the current government?
It's not only about Zaman, but the Erdogan regime in Turkey. I call it a regime because it has turned into from a one-man rule to an oppressive regime, I believe. It wants to silence all critical voices in Turkey. So they wanted to swallow the biggest portion, which is Zaman, and it's going to continue with the others. It has happened before with the other media groups like Koza İpek Company. You might have seen two critical newspapers taken over live on air, for example, in just a few days before the elections. So there is a pattern right now. They have been trying to silence all media.
And what is the feeling among the Turkish people? You said that your own readership are refusing to buy papers, but is there wider objections in the Turkish population?
It's mixed because Turkish society is polarized more than ever. It's not deniable that Erdogan regime has a significant support thanks to their huge media machine and their narrative that is based on hatred and polarization. So even though a significant portion of society are against Erdogan's oppression, the other half are supporting him no matter what, because they are not receiving the truth about what is really going on in the country.
There has been a recent agreement, as you know, between the EU and Turkey on the issue of migration. In the conclusions of the summit, one line was given to this issue of press freedom. Do you think that the European Union is taking this issue seriously enough?
I think European Union has a moral obligation to live up to its values, and it's a huge disappointment that they are turning a blind eye to the violations of media freedoms and human rights in Turkey just to avoid influx of refugees into Europe. I can understand why European leaders want to avoid more refugees, but it's not acceptable for them to tolerate Erdogan and his oppression just to make a deal with him.